I went to go poop, and TMI, but I went to go poop and I knew something was wrong when I couldn't smell my own poop. It's Divine D, that she, and welcome back. Hey chosen ones, and today I'm kind of like in a different area. I'm sorry, excuse the background noise. Like our bathroom is like right behind this wall right behind me, so my brother's in the shower, and when it turns on it's like very loud, and like you can hear like the pipes in the wall, like it's very loud. So I'm sorry for that. And I'm sorry for looking like a mess. I know to some of you guys I may not, and I'm sorry for this quality. Like, I know it's terrible quality. I'm on my laptop, so I'm sorry. This is like the best quality I could give you, but at least you have good sound quality. Yeah, that's the sound I'm talking about. Sorry guys. And my phone is dying, and it's on the charger, and I need it for tomorrow for school, and it charges really slow. So anyways, I wanted to give you guys a little story time. This is just gonna be something very quick, something very short, and I basically wanted to give you guys a little story time on how many times the devil has almost took me down. But girl, hold on, I got hair, wig hair. I'm talking performance wise, not just like general life wise. Well, kinda, but not really. I'm talking more for like performance wise, in ways that God was trying to use me and the devil was trying to take me away from God using me. And this just goes to really performance wise. This is not generalized really towards like central to life, because that's another different story, okay? But as you guys know, I am a praise dancer. I do dance. I do several types of dance, not just praise dance, but praise dance is one of the dances I do. I'm self-taught. I'm like my own choreographer. I am a choreographer. So I do dance and everything like that. Anyways, when I first started performing publicly, that is after my 16th birthday, when that video kind of like went semi-viral. There was a video, which is the first video on my channel. If you guys go to it, it is called They Said But God Said, praise dance. I think it was praise dance I did with my brother. I had a virtual Sweet 16 because of COVID going on. So my Sweet 16 was last year. And that is when I presented the video, because I had, y'all know I'm extra. Like, anything I do has to be extra. All my friends know I'm extra. Like, I have to go to the extreme. If there's a project, I'm going to the extreme, unless like I feel really lazy. Like, otherwise, I'm going to the extreme with all I do. So, I had, where was I? I had then, I'm sorry, I had to like pause for a minute. So, I had presented that on Google Meet, because like I had like a realistic party as if it was in person, but it was online on Google Meet. So, I had presented that video to the people that were there. Not everybody that was supposed to be there was there, because I guess they thought it was just gonna be like some sing happy birthday, blow out a candle, and that's it. But no, my virtual party was not like that. Like, I had like the lit experience. Like, I would post the video if I could, but it would be like a lot of copyright, because I did like record like the whole thing. Like, everything is like in a videographer type of format, so it's such a nice, beautiful video that I did. But there's other people in it, and I don't know, I don't want to like, not everybody's comfortable being on publicly like shown, and it's too much music that will get copyrighted anyways. So anyways, I had presented that video, and that's when that video, everybody loved it. Everybody was in tears. It was because it was touching, and even for me it was touching, and I wanted to pick a song that related to me. I wanted to pick something that was, oh, here I am getting emotional too. So I wanted to pick something that was relating to me. I wanted to pick something that was going to relate to my life, because my Sweet 16, I want it to be something memorable. I wanted every song that I had on my playlist to play, like all the music on the soundtracks to play according to my life. My Globe slideshow that I had presented, I picked the background music that related to me. My praise dance, I had to make sure it related to me in my life, because I wanted it to reflect on my life that I've had so far. And so I picked that dance, and everybody was in tears and emotional and whatnot. Ever since that video, I posted it on Instagram, I posted it on Facebook, and once I did that, everybody saw it. Everybody was like, oh my god, I didn't know you could dance. Because remember, I told you guys in my documentary, if you will watch my documentary, I've been dancing, but I've never like posted anything. I've never performed in front of people. I would just do it on my own. The most I performed was in school, and that was like in school things, and of course only people that were in school saw that. No parents were allowed to be in the building because like all safety protocols, none of that stuff, so nobody was able to come see me. That wasn't family. And with like the whole phone policy, how strict it was in like middle school and stuff, that wasn't like captured or anything, even though I do have like a few moments of some of my dances back then, but that's nothing. Plus cheerleading, that kind of incorporated dance somewhat, but like I said, the whole big thing was the spotlight was on me, because it was just a duet. It was me and my brother, or my brother and I should say, proper English. But ever since then, my church contacted me, pastor, whatever, wanted me to do praise dance, and I was like, sure, I'm down. Just like, pick your song, pick whatever song you want, come up with the dance, and boom, set. All good to go. Have my first solo at my church. But the very first solo I had was in April. It was April, and it was for Easter. My birthday is in March, at the beginning of March. Somehow, mind you, I had a virtual party. The most I went out was to the grocery store. I was homeschooling at the time, so I did not go to school, and I don't really hang out with friends like at all. No, I shouldn't even say really, because I don't hang out with friends at all outside of school. So the most I would go to was supermarket and home. The only place I had went to do was go to Costco to get my birthday cake. That was it. I was home, and then for my birthday I just took pictures outside, but that was my aunt taking pictures for me, and my aunt was perfectly fine. Somehow, some way, I don't know, whatever, somehow, some way, being home, I don't know, whoever, whatever. I mean, I also came in contact with like my godfathers. That was it. That was it, purely. And that was like outside. That was not, and we were far apart from each other. Like we were distance. So somehow, like a week later, like my mom's birthday is right next to mine, but like a week later, my brother, I think it was, came down with like the chills or something, or like he wasn't feeling good or whatever. That. And then my mom, she started not feeling good either. And then for like a whole week I was fine. Like nothing. Like I was helping my brother, I was helping my mom and everything. And I was fine. Until a week later. I was sitting down doing my homeschooling, fully virtual online. At that time it was fully virtual. Doing my homeschool online, and all of a sudden I naturally get cold very easily. So I always have on like a blanket or a robe or something to keep me warm. And the thing is, when I'm in the house, I'm not like, I like to be comfortable. So I'm always with like a blanket even when I'm not cold, but I get cold very easily, so I'm usually just like chilly. I'm sitting there and I notice I'm getting very cold. And it's like cold. So I go check the thermostat, and it's like fine. I'm like, okay, maybe it's just like whatever, like it's winter time, whatever. So I have my blanket on. And then once it's close to the end of the day, because like I said, fully virtual online, so we go through like the whole school day online. I'm sitting there on my virtual class, and at this point I'm now shaking. Like 2 periods later, I'm fully shaking. Like I'm just like shivering. Like I'm so freaking cold. I was so cold, like cold. Like, I was shivering. I had the chills to like the utmost. I started feeling like very tired, very out of it, very like I was done. Like, I was just like, I don't want to do this. I just want to go lay down and go to sleep. Like, all I wanted to do was sleep. And like, nobody bothered me. Like, I was shivering. And I was like, Mom, I'm shivering. I have the chills. I'm cold. I can't do this. I just want to sleep. I went upstairs. Couldn't even do my homework. We have virtual homework. I think I tried to do that, or I did it, or I didn't have homework. So I don't know what happened. And I think it was the week. Yeah, it was the weekend, because I remember that. Came upstairs, and I immediately lay down. Didn't care how I lay down. I just lay down and fell asleep. I went to sleep, and I just kept sleeping. All I wanted to do was sleep. And then I realized I was not normal because I was shivering, and I was just wanting to sleep. At that point, I know anytime I just want to sleep, and it's not like I'm tired, like I had a full day at school, like actual school, or I wasn't like doing something to make me tired, or I'm not just like physically tired, but I'm just like sleeping to the point like I'm sleeping like constantly, and I'm just like extra cold, and I haven't been outside, I know something's wrong. And that means I have a fever. So I went to go take my temperature, and sure enough, I had a fever. So, I mean, I knew I had a fever until I checked my temperature. Then it was confirmed that I had a fever. So then I started taking medicine. That wasn't working. I started to kind of drink fluids. I wasn't drinking enough. And you know me, I'm like a medical field geek. So I knew the stuff I had to do, and I knew I wasn't doing that, because for me, drinking water, I love water, but to get to that 6 to 8 glass point, kind of tricky. Like, after 4, I'm kind of like maxed. So I was like, I need to drink more water. I need to get up. I need to be productive. So I had to get up, drink a lot of water. After doing all of that, after keep taking my medicine, actually starting back to eat, because I wasn't eating, I'm like, okay, I got this. My fever broke. It was gone now. Same day or next day, something like that. I think it was the next day. It broke. And then that's when I went to go get goldfish, because we had my favorite snack in the house, which was goldfish. I went to go get goldfish, and that's when I noticed that the goldfish tasted like paper. It did not taste like goldfish. So at that point, I'm like freaking out. So I'm like, why can't, like, is this like normal? Did I get like a bad bag, or like, because I had just opened the bag, like this is freshly new bag. So I'm like, let me go try something else. I went to go eat like something my mom had made, like leftovers. I couldn't taste it. I couldn't smell it. I couldn't taste it. I had gotten rid of my stuffy. No, I had a stuffy nose, but I had gotten rid of it. So I'm sitting here trying to taste, trying to smell, and that's when I'm like, y'all, I can't smell or taste nothing. And they were like, but we can. You can't smell or taste? I was like, no, I can't smell or taste nothing. Like, I'm eating my favorite snack, and I cannot taste it. I cannot smell nothing. I went to go poop, and TMI, but I went to go poop, and I knew something was wrong when I couldn't smell my own poop.
I know, I was speechless too.
Come on. We know none of y'all poop smell good. Y'all don't even gotta act like it do and try to hide it. Because I went to go boo-boo, and I couldn't smell it. And at that point, I knew something was wrong. Because a stuffy nose, you know when you have a stuffy nose, you can still, like, kind of smell, but it's not strong, but it's like a faint smell, but you could, like, smell a little something, even though it's hard. I couldn't smell nothing. Like, nothing. Like, I kid you not. Like, I love perfume. I'm a perfume and lotion addict. Could not smell nothing. Okay? Nothing. Period. Like, couldn't taste, couldn't smell. Everything tasted so good. Like, it didn't taste good, but I'm saying, like, if I was to have something to eat that was nasty, like, if you gave me something, like, I didn't like or something, I wouldn't have noticed, because, like, everything tastes like nothing. And that's when I realized how frustrating it was to actually not taste. To, like, actually not have your taste buds. Like, you'd be so grateful. Anyways, fast forward, a few days later, or, like, the next day or whatever, my brother's fever wasn't breaking. So at this point, my mom goes and calls our pediatric doctor. and he goes, you guys need to go get tested for COVID. So we're like, we don't have COVID. We don't even go nowhere. Like, the most we go is the grocery store and come back home. Like, what are you talking about? He was like, did you have any parties, any gatherings? We were like, no, my Sweet 16 was virtual and online. Like, all we did was take some pictures. And that was just, like, me and my aunt and just my two godfathers. And we were distant. Like, we were not even close. And it was just pictures mainly for me. And we were outside taking pictures. We were not indoors or anything. So he was like, I don't know, but you might want to go get tested. It could be strep, it could be the flu, or maybe you could just have COVID. So we go get tested, and sure enough, my mom's test came back first, and hers was positive. Then my dad's came back, his was positive. My brother's came back, his was positive. For some reason, mine was delayed and took 2 extra days after theirs to come. So I was like, oh, if y'all have it, I know I have it, obviously. So mine came back and was positive. So there we go. And when that happened, like I said, it was a week like after my birthday or something along the lines. It was not too far after that. And I had to perform in April on Easter, or that Easter Sunday, or like whatever Easter Sunday it was, which was literally almost just about a little bit more than 2 weeks. At that time, quarantine was 14 days. So, it's now, like, we have to quarantine and everything. So, we did our quarantine. And this is what I say when the devil tried to take me out of what God had planned for me to do, had placed for me to do. Because I knew I had to do that praise dance. I knew I was going to do it. I knew God was going to make a way. God wanted me to do that in the first place. He wasn't going to take it away. Turned out, it was just 3 days that I had, 3 or 4 days after my quarantine was over that I had to perform. Just like 3 or 4 days after my quarantine. That's how crazy it was. And I still performed. Sure did. Perfectly. Didn't slip, no fall. I didn't have no shortness of breath, no nothing. Okay? For me, the whole COVID thing was like a regular cold or flu, or, well, I didn't really have the flu too much, so I don't really know how that really is. But I wasn't vomiting or nothing, but everybody's different. But for me, all I had was a loss of smell and taste, and a stuffy nose, and a fever. That was it. And I just went to sleep that first day. And the only reason why you really get that weakness or that feeling of wanting to sleep is because you most likely have a fever. And that's really all that was. But after that, I felt fine. Even though I couldn't smell or taste, the whole time I couldn't smell or taste, I was, I felt fine. I could do whatever, honestly. I could do whatever. My stuffy nose had went away because I had, did all this remedies and stuff, so I was basically fine. The 6th day came around and I was good. I was once I was just mad that I couldn't smell or taste. Mainly the taste part, that was the worst for me. Tasting, so important. But that goes to show you how the enemy will try to take you out of what God has for you and what God wants for you. But God is not going to let that happen if God knows what he truly has for you and what he truly planned for you. That plan is going to proceed. Because he's with you through thick and thin. And when you walk through fire, you will not be burned. Okay? Let him know. Let him know. Make the devil mad. Make the devil mad. Okay? Period. And the next thing I wanted to go on, because this story time is not finished. The next time was, what was the next time? I performed a lot last year, so I'm not really remembering. What was the next performance I did? I think it was for the war cry dance, the war cry one, for I think Veterans Day or something. I don't think it was Veterans Day. I don't know what it was, but it was It was War Cry by Queen Naija. That dance I did. Now, I have problems with my feet. With my toes specifically. Specifically, my big toes. I, unfortunately, have my parents' genes of getting ingrown toenails. And unfortunately for me, it started while I was young. So, it started happening last year officially when I first bumped my toe, like one of my big toes on my bathtub going in the shower. Like I bumped it real hard to the point it started bleeding. And I was like, oh, it's probably just like a little bleed. I started icing it and whatnot. And then thought I was fine. Didn't feel no pain or nothing. Thought I was fine. 2 days after that, I started to feel like this sharp poking pain, but it was like very minor. And then it got worse. And then I felt like the sharp poking pain. I was just kind of ignoring it because like I have a high pain tolerance. So even though pain is like maybe high, it may not be high to me. And even when it is, I can tolerate it, which kind of sucks because then I never know when something is seriously wrong. So, like it's a good thing and a bad thing. But I kind of let it go. And then it got to the point where when I was walking down the hill from my school to get to my bus, and going to class from class, I realized I couldn't really walk on my foot. And then it got so bad to the point, no, matter of fact, we weren't even in school. What I'm talking about. So, actually, when I was just, like, walking around the house, going up my stairs, I could not walk, like, comfortably. And then it got to the point where I couldn't even walk on that foot. So, long story short, I had an ingrown toenail. It started to change colors, and it was almost infected. I caught it just in time. So then I had to go get that removed and whatnot. He cut like out a piece of my toe, the podiatrist, and we was all good to go. This happened a week before I had to go dance, or like 2 weeks, or a week and a half, something like that. Very close. Again, the devil tried to distract me or take me away from what God had for me. But what God has for you is meant for you. Like I always said, what he has for you is meant for you, and God will see you through. It's never going to be that, oh, da-da-da-da-da. No. Whatever he has for you will be for you. And whatever is supposed to fall in line will fall in line. That's why I always say that. Whatever is meant to fall in line will fall in line. Whatever is supposed to fall in line will fall in line. I keep looking at my battery because my battery's dying. And I'm over exceeding like the time for this video. But it was, like I said, like very close time to the time I had to perform. Of course, with that, the healing process is terrible because, like, well, it's not terrible, but it's better than being in pain. But, like, I'm saying it's terrible because when you first get it taken out, like, they shoot up your toe with the needles, they numb spray, all of that stuff, Novocaine and everything. And then they pull it out, and then you just have, like, a missing piece of this toenail that's gone, and then they have to bandage it. And it's, like, this big gauze and this big bandage, and it's just very hard to walk on. Like, it's no longer painful, but it is kind of painful. Like, and then if you press too hard, it oozes out, but you can't feel it because it's in the bandage. And, like, whether or not you still have that big bandage on, you can't put on shoes or anything. Like, you have to wear open-toe shoes. So, I had to perform. And I was like, I'm still going to perform. So my foot was able to feel better to the point where I could take off the bandage to perform. It wasn't oozing or anything anymore. So I was able to perform. And remember, the maximum healing time for like ingrown toenails, depending on how bad it is, at that time mine was for 2 weeks. I had to follow the same procedure for taking care of it for 14 days. So like I said, again, the devil thought he had me, but that was not the case. And that reminds me of the song that it goes, it's by William Murphy. I think it's called Shout or Praise Break. It's like the continuation of the song, and it's like the devil tried it, but I'm still here. Oh. But anyways, it reminds me of that. Even though like that's kind of like a different situation, it's like, to me, though the devil tries, he will never be able to take God's position the way that God runs things, because God is like, I run the show, okay? I'm the king up in here. Let him know who's boss. Shut it down like a boss. Okay? Period. Anyways, that is the story time I'm here to tell you. So, even when you think you can't do things, even when you feel like you're going to get discouraged, don't get discouraged, because Clearly, I'm a living witness of things may not go always as planned. But the plan that is set for you, God has a plan for each and every one of us. Just because our plan may go one direction, His plan can always go another direction. Okay? So remember that everything is in His hands. His plan is not our plan. We plan things in our head. We plan things into the future. But God knows the true plans that He has for us, and everything will fall in line. So don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged in your season. What you have will be for you. Share this video with a friend because it's going to help somebody. I'm sweating in this robe, so I'm trying to hurry up and finish this video. Plus my laptop is dying and I'm very hot and I need to like breathe, and I can't do that in front of y'all. So anyways, it's Divine. What it's Divine. What it's Divine. And make sure y'all get on YouTube because they're trying to copyright my intro and outro song. Cause why? Because it's from a copyright-free, royalty-free music zone, and they acting funny. They always try to do that to me. Like, no, it's not copyright music, and I always have to file these disputes so they can dispute the claim. Anyways, it's Divine D. What it's Divine D. What it's Divine D. Oh, get him! It's Divine D. Hit him! Hey, it's Divine, Divine D, that she, period. It's Divine D, that she, and she is out.